Welcome to another episode of Theology Bites. And this time I want to take a look at a section early on in Calvin's Institutes. It's kind of like a opening to theology proper, a real study of God and knowing God and how we can know God. And I thought this passage was interesting. Calvin writes, he says, "There is within the human mind, and indeed by natural instinct, an awareness of divinity. This we take to be beyond controversy. To prevent anyone from taking refuge in the pretense of ignorance, God Himself has implanted in all men a certain understanding of His divine majesty." Now, in one sense, Calvin is simply saying this: God does not believe in atheists, right? The famous line from a number of different apologists, uh, kind of being humorous, since atheists don't believe in God, God doesn't believe in atheists. Well, that's true here. What Calvin is saying is that there's an awareness of divinity. Every human being has implanted in them this knowledge of the divine, this awareness that there is a God. Now, this is saying something different than what Paul says, for instance, in Romans 1, that all of creation declares, and so people are without excuse. They can just look at creation and know that God is, that God exists, and that He has these divine attributes. This is a little bit different. This is saying that what God has given to us is innate knowledge within ourselves. And I think that Calvin is referring here to the image of God in us, that we're made in the image of God. There's this stamp on us, and we're aware of the reality of God because of that. Now, what this does, you could see in Calvin's point here, that he says this prevents anyone from taking refuge in ignorance. Okay, there's this inherent knowledge, so you cannot pretend to be ignorant. And I guess uh, we see this in a number of ways. We are responsible before God to believe, and that's for every human being, because He's already put that belief in some way in our hearts. And we see in our own humanity that we are very religious by nature, whether it be the idols of ancient civilizations or science today. Humans by nature worship. And by nature, we put our faith in something or someone. And so, as I was thinking about this section, I think this can help us in both our own walk, asking ourselves, well, we know we are worshipers by nature. Are we worshiping something other than God? What is it that's taking the place of God in our hearts? But it also can help us in our evangelism. How can we show people that they are worshiping whether they know it or not? And the fact that they are worshipers by nature indicates that they know there is God by nature. And then we can start to ask them the question, is their object of worship, whatever they are worshiping, truly worthy of their worship? Hope this is an interesting thought for you as we continue to explore the depths of God and His scriptures, to know Him and serve Him better. Until next time.